Woo! Oh, yes, we are back. StreamYard had just alerted me that I'm live. So now I got to wait for YouTube to let you know that I'm live. And then we can begin with another episode of VypDrive, the podcast about tech is back, baby. We are back in the building. Yes, this is episode 117, 117 episodes into the podcast, which is kind of crazy. But most of y'all know I've been going at a torrid pace this year. So this is no surprise to most of y'all that watch this on a regular basis. But the notification just went out from YouTube. So now all of you all know that we are live. So I will give you guys a few minutes to file in for those who want to watch this podcast. And we'll go ahead and rock and roll. We got A out there. What's up, A? We got Greg Gadget. What's up, Greg? How you doing? We got the man himself, Paul Timothy, in the building. Gabriel Black. What's up, Gabriel? We got the Bionic Goop. What's up, Bionic? Will Barlow is here. What's up? How y'all doing? Thank you for joining another episode of VypDrive. Oh, keep it techies out there too. Oh, what's up, bro? How you doing? How you doing, man? How you doing? Woo! Oh yeah. 12 people are in the building. 12 people already here. Wow, y'all got here quick. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and get the man in here. Let's stop keeping him waiting because it's time to go to work. So, this is VypDrive episode 117. And I got one of my personal friends coming on the podcast. This dude has been on the YouTube for a long time. Now he's doing big things on TikTok. I mean, he is an excellent filmmaker, editor. I mean, his edits are some of the best ever. They're like legendary. But he's here. And he's coming up next on VypDrive, which starts now. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, and welcome back to another episode of VypDrive. This is the podcast about tech, hosted by the man about tech. And tonight, I have the filmmaking boy genius in the building. I have the prodigy himself. I have my dude, Paul Timothy is here. What's up, bro?
What's
How you doing?
I'm doing great. That's an intro. If anyone can call an intro, that's an intro. I'm glad to be a genius, a prodigy. I take that very personally. I love that. It's a great intro. Thank you, Viper. But I love the enthusiasm. I love the podcast. I've been listening to the podcast while I've been editing in After Effects because my edits take freaking 10 hours every day.
Oh, we know.
It's intense. It's intense, man. And music gets really repetitive because I have a really bad habit of listening to 3 songs over and over and over again until I hate them. So it's been a great detachment from music. So I've been binging the show.
Well, I'm definitely giving you enough content to binge, so I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
It's been amazing.
So, normally I ask first time guests how did they come to YouTube? I guess I can ask you that, even though you're not technically on YouTube these days. Well, you are, but you're kind of more on TikTok.
In a way, yeah.
How did you come to YouTube? Because like I said, you actually, when you were doing YouTube full time, when you were doing YouTube regularly, you were here for a while, or you've been doing it for a while. So what brought you to YouTube?
It's been a journey. I mean, obviously not to bring up my entire freaking backstory because that would take forever. But like I've been making videos since I was extremely young. So let's just say I know for a fact that my first movie was with my dad, and I was a solid 5 years old. It was like in 2006 or 7. It was like Star Wars Potato Head, and we would like animate to like we would create Star Wars animations like when I was 5. So I've been doing this from like day one. But anyways, when I was about 10 years old, I started posting like Lego photos on Lego.com because back in the day, there was like a Star Wars creations where you could create like creations, obviously, and then you would put them up. And I wanted to get into stop motions. So I would put up Lego stop motions. But the problem was that there was only like a 2 megabyte limit. So I was like forced to upload at like 144p, and I hated that. And it was horrible. And I knew about this little site called YouTube. This is literally 2010, 11 at this time. So YouTube was new. Like you had like the Shane Dawsons, but like I wasn't familiar with who anybody was. I just knew that my dad used it, and I wasn't really allowed to use it that often because it's adult content on YouTube at the time. So I was like, Dad, I want to post to YouTube. And so then I had to like rent his channel in a way, and I would post Lego stop motions to YouTube for a solid like 2.5 years until I was like, you know what? I'm tired of people thinking that my dad made the stop motions. This is not okay. So I finally was able to, at the age of 12, which is under the legal age of starting a YouTube channel, mind you, I created the very first channel, PTG
Rebel.
Productions.
Rebel.
It was amazing. We had the highest quality Minecraft content you have ever seen. No, it sucked. But that's how I got into YouTube, and it's been an ever changing content. I mean, you've been with me for a while. Like we've been through a lot, my guy. And
We've
then
been through a lot. No, Brian. No, lie, man.
It's been serious, and like stuff really started to get serious when John like kind of pulled me out of obscurity. Because I literally only had like 200 subscribers after going for like 4.5 years, and then he kind of just like gave me a little bit of a platform and gave me just the motivation to like keep on pushing. And then now here we are. It's amazing. I guess I missed his funeral, which is upsetting. But yeah, rip John. Hopefully he returns to YouTube before the end of 2020, because this year has already sucked pretty badly.
Yeah. For those of y'all listening, John, he's talking about John Proctor, and John Proctor's not dead. He's just joking around.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was worried there for a moment. I didn't get the invitation, so.
All right. So my nickname for you, obviously, is Paulie G, because obviously your real name is not Paul Timothy, but we won't go into detail. But it kind of brings me to my next question. You have gone through a bunch of transitions over your creative career. So when I first discovered you, you were doing tech videos. You were doing like tech tutorials about Apple and Mac and things like that. And then you transitioned over to like filmmaking tutorials about lighting. I mean, I got my first set of lights because of a video you did. So
I remember that. Yeah,
you did the filmmaking tutorials, and then you transitioned over to commentary content and things like that. But now, like I said, now you've completely like kind of left the platform, or you've left YouTube and you went over to TikTok, and now you make Star Wars edits and things like that. So talk about your journey through your different transitions of trying to get to the creator that you want to be.
Yeah. So it, like I said, it all started with the Minecraft stuff. And I started to actually Musically. I was on Musically back in the day, because if you remember correctly, I actually commentated on this in like 2018. TikTok used to be Musically. It was acquired by Douyin, ByteDance Technologies, back in 2018. That being said, I was on Musically in 2016, and I was kind of getting burned out with the content that I was doing Minecraft wise, and I wanted to do like personality videos, like, oh my gosh, Q&A. Like I wanted to be like an Ember Chamberlain, to put a modern face on what I was trying to be. And honestly, it was interesting. I had some interesting vlog type content. That being said, I had a stroke, which basically impaired my ability to move the camera and do movements with my hand, which basically killed my Musically career. Thank you, God. So that was upsetting, especially because if I didn't have had a stroke, I probably would have been Jacob Sartorius. That being said, after I had my stroke, I wanted to do more serious type of content. So I went into like Lily Singh type skits, but about the stroke. Then I didn't really want to do that anymore, so I started to make filmmaking tutorials, and that was around the time of 2017, late 2017. And then John found me around that point, like literally right after I was on the cusp, but like right after so I had a summer job in 2016, and I was almost gonna have a summer job in 2017, but I hated myself. I mean, I've planned my suicide multiple times in the period of 2016 to 17. It was pretty close, my guy. It was pretty close, especially after the stroke. I mean, literally everything was taken from me at that point. But like I was having a mental breakdown, and then I started posting a couple of videos here and there, and then John found me, and then it was just like that hope that maybe one day that I could create content just as good as John pushed me over into making like, the lighting tutorials and the stuff like that. And then over time, I started getting like, I wasn't really growing with the content. And to be fair, what adult is really going to take social media advice from a 15-year-old kid talking in his bedroom? So John told me to do like commentary stuff, and I started to do like why does everyone hate Lily Singh, which got me a ton of hate and backlash. But yeah, I did commentary for a while. But then it burned me out in a very real sense, Viper, because I was talking about people that I only cared about because it was going to get me views. I didn't really care about the topics that I was discussing, and sure, I had some fun adventures with like the freaking Rewired Soul. That's a fun topic for another time. And the James Charles situation, I commentated all over that, and the PewDiePie series stuff, that was a blast. But I just got burned out, and I had no idea what I was gonna do, and that caused me to have kind of another mental breakdown, because the only thing that really saved me from suicide was that I was posting content on the internet. Like that's seriously the only thing that makes me happy. So I didn't know what I was going to do. And I took a month off to really just like think. And when I say a month off, just think. Like that's literally all I did, of like, what do I want in life? And I went through so many different types of content. And during that month, I downloaded TikTok, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to post some random videos. And one of those videos was a Star Wars video about how Jedis get girls. And it was like, hey, babe, check out how big my lightsaber is. And I'm being serious. This is the first Star Wars TikTok I ever post. And then I got like 10,000 views. And I was like, this is interesting. On YouTube, I can never pull these numbers, especially for like a 50 follower account. And then I just started posting more and more and more. And then I made a video of me duetting-ish of like fighting Charlie D'Amelio with a lightsaber. No. It was Order 66. Palpatine was executing Order 66 on the TikTokers. And I was shooting Charlie D'Amelio. And that got like 400,000 views. And then I was like, this could be something. This is early January. I was like, you know what? This is more fun than YouTube. I'm just going to try my bet. And then when that blew up, the TikTok algorithm also picked up my Star Wars wedding plans, which screwed me up in a lot of ways later on. But anyways, so I had made like wedding plans of like, you know what? I'm going to be Anakin. You're going to be Padme. The right-hand man's going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. And like, we're going to have like the whole 501st clone troopers. Everyone's going to be in full cosplay. I did the full 9 yards. And then I kind of had a sidestep where like, I actually, because it was like Padme submissions. So then I literally within like 24 hours, I opened my Snapchat and I had like 200 like requests to be my girlfriend, which was like really freaking weird, dude. Because everyone on TikTok's like freaking 14, my guy. So like, and I mean like not 14, like I'm not a predator. I'm just being like 16 and up, like that, that's that. But like, so TikTok was really young, and I had like this huge audience, and like I actually like fell for one of them, and then I kind of got like played. So that was kind of fun. But I actually made friends with a few of them, and like we're just chill. Like, but yeah, I mean it was a weird sidestep because I basically revolved my life around Snapchat messages, and then I stopped posting, and like I was really bad with posting, and then I was like stuck at 10K for freaking forever. And then we moved, which killed me even more, because then I was like not posting at all. And then my account was dead, like completely dead. Like I was barely getting like 300 views a video, and I was like, what can I do to break the mold? What can I do to make content that is different than what other people are talking about and doing on TikTok? And then I was like, I'm going to make an edit. I'm going to put myself on Anakin Skywalker and like dream of Padme while I'm becoming Darth Vader. And then literally overnight, that video goes to 30,000 views. And then now it's like at 500 something thousand. So that completely popped off. And then I started doing daily edits, which have been absolutely insane and super fun. Now, recently, I continuously try to raise the bar in every single solitary video that I do. That has killed my computer. And I don't know how, like, I'm trying to learn how to do like a robotic arm, like Anakin's cybernetic arm. Like I want to replace my arm with a cybernetic arm. And like I have the Blender files. I have everything working. Literally, it's going to take like freaking 20 hours to render, and it is taking forever. So it's been like 4 or 5 days since I posted. This video is absolutely insane. It is basically everything that I've learned over the past month of learning After Effects into one thing, and it is going to be absolutely insane, but I hate my computer, and that is why I'm selling everything and I'm building PC in like 2 weeks.
Selling the PC.
Yeah, right. It's weird. I mean, I'm an Apple fanboy. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know you're the captain of Team Apple, but like, I can't deny the speed improvements that I'm going to get, because the graphics card that I'm getting is statistically 600% faster than my current graphics card. But I'm basically dropping everything that I have on this computer so I can make better TikToks. So heck yeah.
I mean, you got to get what works best for you. If you know you're doing TikTok and you know you need that After Effects, you know that a Mac is probably not the best equipment to be doing After Effects stuff on, because you know how Adobe and Mac don't play together that much. So yeah,
Seriously.
you got to get a PC. You got to get PC, man. You got to do what you got to do.
It's been, yeah. But the thing about After Effects is like After Effects itself can work. But once you start anything animated on top of that, it just becomes absolutely insane. The one video that I did with my friend Izzy, where like we were doing like outfits for TikTok and stuff. And what was happening is that I was doing like multiple effects of like lightning coming down our arms and stuff like that. Like it was the most insane edit. It was great. It was crazy. My computer, I had After Effects on fast render and only playing at 4th playback, which is the absolute lowest that you can play. It was taking a solid minute in playback to render a frame. I was absolutely dying. It was horrible. That video, I hate it because I wanted to punch a screen, you know? I just wanted to punch a screen. But that's what eBay's for. So I am going to have to take like a week off, and it's going to be fun. I hope it's faster. It should be faster.
Hey man, I'm pretty sure you'll find something that works out.
I hope so.
Hey, shout out to the 24 of you all that are watching the podcast live today. Thank you for watching me and Paul Timothy talk about Star Wars and tech and everything else. I appreciate you guys. If you want to support the podcast or donate, you have the option to super chat, or you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. Or if you want to become a channel member, you can become a channel member. And somebody just brought me a coffee. So whoever you are, thank you very much. I appreciate you. That's like right on cue. That's scary on cue. So I appreciate you guys supporting and watching the podcast. Shout out to those of y'all listening on audio only to the podcast today. Thank you for listening to another episode of VypDrive with me and my man Paul Timothy. If you want to follow him and his exploits, his information will be down there in the show notes, so definitely check him out. If you would like to support the podcast or donate to the podcast, that info will also be in the show notes. Not required, but anything that you're willing to contribute, greatly, greatly appreciated. Also, if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts, please consider leaving a rating or review and help more people discover the show. Trying to get back to that top 200 of tech podcast. I'm on a never-ending quest to get that done. So if you can go down and leave that rating or review, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So thank you for listening to another episode of VypDrive.
VypDrive. We love it. We love to see it. We love to see it.
Oh, you know it. So I know you are a big TikTok guy. You got like 20,000 followers on TikTok, but you did start a new YouTube channel dedicated to doing Star Wars videos. That link is also in the description if you guys want to check that out. But the one video I watched, Paul, I watched the video how to flirt like Anakin Skywalker. And I was like, are you serious right now? Talk about that is craziness.
It was interesting to do. I actually had that video done for like a solid month, but I just hadn't had time to actually upload it because my computer, I've been watching loading screens way too much recently. But I finally uploaded the video, and it was an interesting. Tinder's been interesting for me. I downloaded Tinder the day I turned 18. And the reason why I did that was because when I was like 13, I've always wanted to make a video about Tinder. Like I was like, this is gonna be the freaking best video I've ever seen. And then I finally downloaded Tinder, and then I used it to like rate my attractiveness on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm sorry, but like I had to. I also got Bumble. Bumble's better. Tinder's weird. I don't like Tinder. Anyways, I didn't get anywhere with Bumble or Tinder. Let's be real here. But then I just wanted to re-download it because I had an idea to make a video about Anakin, and we all know Anakin's the best flirt out there. I hate sand. It's coarse, freaking rough and irritating. Oh my gosh, your skin though, it's so soft. But yeah, so I made that video, and I look with YouTube. I don't exactly know what I'm doing over there right now. I'm just experimenting. There's a part of me that thinks that I should probably do something regarding special effects because that's what I'm kind of popping off on TikTok with right now. But the other part of me is like, I'm already spending this much time on the TikTok edits. How much time is it going to take to create like a 10-minute video, which are like edit filled? So I think I'm going to do like more like meme stuff and like Star Wars community, because no one else is doing that. Like I find it so interesting. Like every Star Wars creator on YouTube is either like theories, news, or like just some kind of other like super serious stuff. I just want to make Star Wars fun, and that's kind of my idea with that.
I'm just laughing at Roberto in the chat. Tinder is trash.
It is. It's so bad. But
Dude.
but okay, it depends if people message you first. I never message first, but like I've gotten a lot of people that will like message first. I just don't respond. Like I just don't care. So.
I like I said, I watched that video and I was watching some of those responses you were doing at Anakin Skywalker to the girls, and then some of the girls would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm into that," and you'd be like, "What? That's not the right answer, girl. What are you talking about?"
No, I was like, you are exactly the way I remember you in my dreams. And you know what? And you know what? She was like, that's so cute. There was this one girl, I forget if I cut it out or not, but she wanted to make me a bracelet. And then like I kept responding with like Anakin quotes, because I wasn't going to respond to anything that wasn't Anakin quotes, because then it would be like I'm actually taking Tinder seriously. And I promised myself and my sister that I would not be taking Tinder seriously. So I only used Anakin lines. And yet she got really mad. She like did it in all caps. She was like, just let me freaking make you a bracelet. I never got the bracelet though. So probably because I never continued the conversation. So, and Nikki in the chat is saying that it's not creepy, and yes, it is the creepiest thing ever. If you tell me that that I'm in your dreams and we don't really know each other that well, I'm sorry, that's a red flag. Like that, there's nothing I can say. It's just straight facts. I mean,
watching you respond to those Tinder that you were getting, those messages you were getting from the girl when you would drop some Anakin line on them, they were like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And you're like, what are you doing? That's wrong.
It's so sad, though, that's the bar. Like, I mean, I know that's a conversation for another time, but, like, who am I competing with? Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like,
oh, shots fired! Shots fired on the podcast!
Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Oh, man.
The whole landscape. I can't stand teenage boys, I guess. I don't know. That's my theory.
Man, you know what you're in. You know what's happening this year. You know how crazy people are this year. You know it's all coming out.
Okay, it is quarantine, so people are probably like, "Oh my gosh, finally someone to talk to." But no, a girl probably has a lot more people that would swipe on them than a guy, and that's just statistically accurate. So I'm not trying to be like sexist or anything, but like statistically, guys are more like, and girls are a little more selective, and rightly so. I think they should be.
Definitely. So we got people in the chat that are looking to support you, and they are asking about what tech are you looking for, like in your PC? I think you said you're going to build one, or you're going to buy a heavy duty one.
Yeah, I mean, I toyed around with getting a custom built one, but it's way too expensive. So I think I'm going to build one. I'm looking at, I think it's the 2060 Super or whatever. I think that'll be enough because I also want to get something that would be enough to hypothetically stream Fallen Order on Twitch, because now that I have Star Wars audience, everyone has been harassing me about doing Twitch. So I started doing Twitch, and it's been super fun. But I just want to I want it to be able to like handle anything that I throw at it. And I do 1080p video, so like that shouldn't be a big ask. But meanwhile, my 5K iMac is not handling 1080p video. I was looking at a Ryzen's 3600 XT, but I'm really dumb with computer specs, so I don't know if the 600 XT or like the 3800X is like better. It's like a $20. I don't know. I don't understand any of these parts, but like I'm just trying to get something that'll edit 1080p with basically 4K, because my my 1080p is like multiple layers, so it's essentially 4K editing, I would think, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how pixels work.
Yeah, we'll have to get you with a PC build specialist so you can get that all figured out.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to have Paulie G at its absolute best. We can't be having you bogged down by the technology. We can't have that.
We can't. It's like I was gonna say something. But yeah. So I'm gonna make one more video on TikTok after I finish the one that I'm doing, and then I'm gonna sell my iMac and then try and get the stuff to come in the first week in August. But we'll see what happens.
Just make sure you give yourself enough time, because a lot of things that would normally be available, they ain't available right now.
I checked everything, but I think the GPU is in stock, and the GPU is in stock like July 30th. So it's not that long of a wait. I'm grateful because everything's starting to come back because COVID. But COVID's a fun adventure. I'm sure you've had a fun COVID time.
It's been interesting. Yeah. So I know you're into tech, but you're not that big into tech. But have you been paying any type of attention to the tech landscape this year at all?
Partially.
Partially.
I try not to because I want it in a very real sense. So like that's how I control my budget because like I don't want to get any of the Apple Watches and stuff. Like even though they're sexy and I'm like, you know, they're beautiful and stuff like that. I gave in to get AirPods though because they're nice. But yeah, I mean, I know that Apple's hypothetically not going to be shipping a charger, which is fun. I can understand how they could do that if it was like a $5 add-on. But like other than that, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's dumb. But other than that, I have no idea what's going on. So please lay it down. What's happening?
All right. So where do I begin? So as you know, obviously we had WWDC about a month or so ago. It literally was about a month ago. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that, but
Yeah, I saw it live.
Oh, okay, cool. So it was well done. You still have your iPhone 10R, right?
Yeah.
Do you plan on upgrading your iPhone at all, or are you just staying away from the upgrade?
Nah, I'm gonna stay away from the upgrade. I mean, as much as I would, you know, of course, it's always nice to upgrade. I can't justify the funds. So
gotcha. So you said you watched WWDC. So what did you think of it?
Honestly, I think it was a really good format. It was much more interesting than the live stage. Don't hate me, but like it was nice. It was like edited. It was like super cool to like watch. Whereas like the stage presence is less. I like the production. I can appreciate that. And I'm sure they used Adobe softwares to do a lot of that stuff or motion. I mean, I don't know motion. I mean, who knows? But yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. So you know that Apple is planning to transition their computer to their own Apple Silicon. I know you said you're looking into building a custom PC, but maybe once this transition is complete and Apple like kind of fully fleshes out their computer hardware, maybe that might be able to run your crazy edit better. Because like y'all don't know how this dude does. He spent 10 hours editing his videos, man, and then he's laying all these effects and everything on top of it. It's madness.
Maybe. Here's my thing. I know how well in quote unquotes Adobe is like optimized for Mac OS as it is on Intel. And I'm just I know that that's going to be switched over to the ARM architecture, but like I'm a little bit nervous about it just because I know how bad they are anyways, like even with Windows with optimization. So like I don't know, like
I mean, we already have an example of Adobe on Apple ARM architecture anyway, because we have Photoshop on iPad, and not too many people are singing kumbaya about that. So
yeah, well, we'll see what happens, especially because didn't take like a year and a half for it to even be like optimized for the iPad. Like it was all buggy and not even working.
Well, they announced it, and then it took them like a year after the initial announcement to actually put Photoshop on iPad. But yeah, a lot of people were saying how it's not the fully featured Photoshop that they're accustomed to. It kind of watered down, and they don't really like it all that much. So I don't know.
I think the big thing with the iPad, it could just be a RAM management problem. Like there's just not enough RAM on iPad to maybe do Photoshop. That might be the reason why it's dumbed down. But yeah, I'm nervous about ARM. I think ARM has a lot of potential, especially with the MacBook line. Like it'll basically have like if Apple makes like a legit chip that's like for Mac, that's big and has like GPU and stuff, like it could probably rival iMac performance in a laptop without needing that much CPU cooling. So it is going to be game changing for everyone who is doing video content creation and just normal consumers in general. Their computers are going to be so much faster. It's just with Adobe softwares, I can't really trust Adobe to optimize. I'm sorry. Maybe in 20 years, I'll come back to Apple because I prefer the macOS ecosystem. Do not get me wrong. If I had the money, I would just buy a Mac Pro, like the 30,000 things. That's my dream. But like, I'm not there, obviously. So yeah. That's my take on ARM.
Yeah, we're still a few years out from seeing. I mean, actually, we're probably more than a few years out from seeing how it all comes to fruition and everything. But obviously, there's going to be some kinks. There's going to be some growing pains along the way. So we don't know how it's going to flesh out immediately, even after they finish the transition in 2 years. So yeah, Adobe historically has not played well on Mac OS. So a guy like you who relies heavily on Adobe and Premiere and After Effects, I can understand you wanting to go to PC where probably more optimized.
Yeah, I have a question about ARM. Do you know, like, are they going to just be upgrading like the Mac Pros to ARM? Like, are they just gonna like switch over that in 2 years, right after everyone dropped $50,000 on Intel computers? Like,
No.
okay,
So basically, like they said at a WWDC, they anticipate the transition to take 2 years. But the first devices that will get the Apple Silicon chips are probably the entry-level MacBooks and the entry-level iMac, because those are the easiest, obviously, because you don't have the extra upgrades and things like that. But after they get those out and see how those perform in the real world, I guess, then they'll concentrate on doing higher tiers and higher spec models. And maybe, I'm guessing the Mac Pro will be the last thing, the absolute last thing that transition. I mean, hell, before the Mac Pro last year, or the early this year, whenever it came out, it hadn't been updated for like what, 5, 6, 7, maybe, I don't know.
yeah, you're right. It was a while.
It's been a while. So yeah, I don't expect an Apple Silicon Mac Pro for a while. I don't think they're gonna be doing that right away.
Gotcha. By the way, I just wanted to throw in there, I was homeschooled, so there were a lot of like fun events that I was forced to go to because my lovely family. But there was this one where we had like speech and debate, and I had to like do a speech about something of like persuasion, and I created boards and everything of like why the Mac is better than PC. And I also I compared the Mac Pro and the highest specifications to like a base model PC. And I was like, you can't deny the speed improvements on Mac OS. And actually a couple people were like, I might consider buying a Mac now. So
that's funny.
I hope people join the cult.
That's been one of the biggest arguments when we talk about Mac versus PC for a while. Like if you take $2,000 and you try to consider what $2,000 would get you on a Mac versus the PC, for the longest time, people argue that the Mac at that price were overpriced compared to their PC counterpart, because you can get a lot more bang for your buck with the PC. You can get probably much more powerful PCs with that $2,000 that you can get with the Mac at an equivalent price. But with this transition to our Apple's own Silicon, that divide, that parity might be a little bit more shrunk down. And actually, in some cases, if it's anything like the iPhones and the iPads, those Apple Silicon Macs might be vastly superior to their PC counterparts at that same pricing. So yeah,
if you're using Final Cut Pro and the Apple love software, so they can all interbreed together and have lots of babies of content. But if you're not using that, it'll kill you. I actually checked for shizzes and giggles. I built the PC and it was like about $2,000 for like everything, like monitor, everything like that. I went on the iMac specification. I know they haven't upgraded it in 2 years, but I wanted to see what I could hypothetically get for the same. What price it would be to get a computer that would be comparable. It was like $4,500 for the $1,800 PC that I had built, which is absolutely insane to me. Especially with less optimization for Adobe software. But my dad is harassing me because I've always been raised on Apple, and I'm joining the dark side or whatever. So,
well, I'm sure your dad will be able to look past that and support your creative dream.
I hope so. I'm gonna get kicked out because I switched to PC.
Get out of here!
Some kids do drugs, go party. Nah, I switched to PC. That's the main thing. Quarantine didn't change my life at all. Like, in a very real sense, I don't go anywhere. I have no friends. So please follow and subscribe so that I can make content, because that's all I have. So please help me. Okay.
All right.
That was a cry for help.
Support my man Paulie G. Support my man Paulie G. Hey, so I know you said that you have no plans on upgrading your iPhone anytime soon, but what are your thoughts on these foldable phones that we're starting to see?
That's my thought on them. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Great question. I think they're horrible. I would not use a foldable phone. The only time that I would use a foldable phone is if it was like it had iPad performance and it had Final Cut Pro on the iPad, and you could the only time that would make sense is okay, so you film your thing on your little cute iPhone, and you flip it open and you can open up Final Cut Pro and you can edit it right there without having to bring it over to a computer. That's the only case scenario where I find that to be useful. Other than that, I think it's an extremely waste of money, because it's like freaking, the things are like $2,000, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but what? You got to be kidding me! And it's like a plastic screen, and it folds and creases. No. It's not the future. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not though. Like, what if like an iPad, like a tablet, could fold and to become like an even bigger screen, or like it could become like a monitor or something like that. But like, I just want my phone to be a phone. And I know maybe that's like not futuristic enough of me, because like my mom didn't want email on her phone until like recently. But like maybe it is, but like, I'm sorry, I can't vibe with it, especially right now, how it is currently being implemented. I do not like the foldable technology, and I'm really sorry, because I know you have a lot of tech followers, because this is the show about tech, hosted by the man about tech. But the thing is that I can't vibe with it. And I know I just said vibe. That's like a really Gen Z thing to say. I'm sorry.
Listen, man. Yeah, the show has a lot of tech viewers and a lot of tech listeners, but we are practical, man. So we are able to share agreements and disagreements. And I mean, I don't think you're alone. I think Roberto just said he has the same view about foldables. I mean,
I appreciate you, Roberto. Thank you for being a king and someone who is very smart and intelligent.
Roberto's legit. But yeah, like even I have questioned the practicality of foldables, because I have an iPhone, I have an iPad. They both do what they do excellently. I don't need them to be merged into one device. I mean, and if they were merged into one device, I don't think that they will perform their independent functions as well as they do independently if they were a merged device. So I'm kind of along the same line with you. I don't know if I see the practicality. I think it's awesome that the technology is just that we can have foldable devices. That much is awesome. I'm all about advancing technology. But for me personally, Paul, I just don't see the use case for a foldable, although I am definitely, like I said, I'm interested in that Samsung Galaxy Fold 2, though. I'm interested in that because that looks good. But overall, I don't know if foldables are the future. I don't think they're the future. Not at all.
Can you explain to me the difference between like this Galaxy S whatever than the other thingy that was released? Like what do you find amazing about it? Can you please tell me?
Okay, awesome. So earlier this year, they released the Galaxy S line, the S10, the
Yeah.
S20, S20 Plus, S20 Ultra. I have the S20 Ultra right here. It's a good device. It's cool. They kind of dropped the ball with the camera, because that was like the most hyped, the most marketed part of the phone. They dropped the ball because the autofocus doesn't work like it's supposed to. But we won't get into that. So in about 2 weeks now, in about 2 weeks, they're having their unpacked event for the Note 20, which the Galaxy Note is just a bigger version of this thing. But they're going to have the Galaxy Fold 2. Now the Galaxy Fold 2, it's like when it's closed up, it's basically a phone. Obviously they had the original Fold last year, and they kind of fell flat with the durability, and the front display was kind of teeny tiny and it was barely usable. But this upgraded model supposed to have a bigger front screen, supposed to be more durable, and like you said, when you have it folded up, it gives you like that phone thing. But when you fold it out, you kind of get like a 7.7-inch tablet type thing going on. Now, we be able to edit stuff like Final Cut Pro and all that? Not really, but I mean, Samsung is doing big things. They're trying to engineer the technology to go in that direction. So I'm interested to see what they can do with it this year that they didn't do last year. But I mean, like I said, I don't know if foldables are the future, but they're very exciting because they are different from what we've been accustomed to for the past 10 years.
I mean, innovation's good. I mean, that's the same thing with like movies, where even if the movie sucks, they maybe tried a new effect that implements better in a good movie. So so hopefully this screen technology will implement itself into a more interesting way, which I think will maybe be AR glasses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
To
Yeah.
like wrap around your eyes and stuff. Oh, also, I have a quick question. I want to call in John's show at some point to ask this as well, but I keep forgetting to. Okay, so Elon Musk is going to do Neuralink, which is going to be absolutely insane, because it's going to like cure all my disabilities, and it's also going to like let you search to Google. It's going to be the most insane thing ever, and I cannot wait. And if Elon Musk is watching, please let me test subject. I will literally do anything. That being said, do you think that in the future the Neuralink will like talk to the Apple glasses, and then they'll like, you can think and it'll like happen, or like what it? Ooh, there's just so many possibilities, Viper. What do you think about that? Do you think they'll talk to each other?
Shout out to Craig LeMay for the super chat. He said folding folds absolutely suck. Respect for Paul. Thank you, Craig LeMay. I appreciate you. But as far as do I think Neuralink will work directly with your Apple devices? Probably not, just because historically, Apple doesn't allow communication like that. They don't even allow communication between apps in their own iOS ecosystem. I can't even see how they'll communicate with outside devices like that, especially on that type of a granular level. I mean, the Neuralink will have to have complete control over your Apple glasses or AR device, and I can't see Apple ceding that type of power to a third-party device, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, do you think that Neuralink because apparently he's working on a way to like search Google and like it'll be like realistic, like you're actually searching Google and you can like see the results and stuff, which will be insane. You'll have all the information in your head, and I can't wait till kids cheat with this in class. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. They're gonna have like a Neuralink ban until you're 18 or something. But like, yeah, I don't know. I love the future. I wish I was living in the future, because we're literally only at like I think it's like a I always forget exactly like which way it goes, but I think we're only on like a type 1 or no 0 society, and I want us to advance, and I feel like I was born a few generations early, and I want to go to Mars. I want to die on Mars. I want to be the first person to have sex on Mars. I want to lose my virginity on Mars.
Whoa, dude. Whoa,
That's
calm
big.
down.
That's
Calm
big.
down.
That's big.
This is the family podcast. I need you to calm down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But,
I'm sorry, Piper.
But I don't know if I have too much hope in society right now, given that I'm walking around seeing people not wearing masks. I'm seeing people with their masks below their nose, and people getting into actual police encounters over their not wanting to wear a mask. We got people taking dumps in stores because they refusing to wear masks. I mean, do you see what's going on with our society right now? I hate it. Neanderthals, Paul. I don't know, man.
I'm moving to Japan. I keep joking about that, but they actually respect each other. Okay, they actually respect germs. And what boggles my mind is like how it became. And I know we're not going to get into politics, but like how it became a political issue of like if you don't wear masks, that means you're automatically an evil liberal Democrat. And if you don't wear masks, you're an evil liberal. Evil Republican. Sorry, my terminology. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You're either good guy or bad guy, and it's so freaking dumb. Like, can't we listen?
I was actually talking to Roberto about this on a live stream last week, and I think is people the foundation of this country is based on freedom of choice, freedom of will.
You can have freedom if you wear a mask. Everything would be open again.
A lot of people don't feel that way. They feel like they're being forced to wear a mask.
I'm forced to wear a seatbelt, okay? And an ass protects me and everyone else.
Yes, you were right. You were absolutely right. But some people feel like they're being forced to wear a mask infringes on their freedom, their basic human rights, and that's why they're like revolting and acting all kind of ignorant about this. But yeah,
can I say something? They're actually losing their freedom. Because since they're not wearing a mask, guess what? The U.S. passport gets you into less countries now. You can't go everywhere. You're losing your freedom. Aren't you losing your freedom? Because now I think it's only can go to like 13 countries.
Yep. Countries are locking us out. They are literally locking us out. Like, no, y'all can't come. Y'all can't come.
And then I go on my super Republican Facebook page, and everyone's like, if you don't love it here, leave. I can't leave, dude, because you won't wear a mask. Like,
oh my god! Oh like, man, the irony. Paul's like, I can't leave because y'all will wear a damn mask.
And that's the same thing with like the poor like college kids, who are like now stuck or like in limbo if they can even go to college, like because they're like transfer students or whatever. Like that blows my mind. Like, what time are we living in? I don't like 2020. I mean, it's been fun for TikTok, but other than that, it's been
this has been a strange year. But you know what I say? Like all the ignorance and the lack of common sense that we're seeing this year, it's been there all along. It's just more exposed now that we have social media and cameras and everything. Like nothing is secret anymore. Nothing is private. I've been telling you guys for 2 years, privacy is an illusion, but it is really like everything, all of our flaws, all of our imperfections or whatever I'm trying to say. Everything is out there for the entire world to see. It is all on full display during this pandemic because people are acting like an entire AWS, and we can see it. You can't hide it anymore. It's just out there.
And the thing is that, like you said, like these people have always existed. The difference is that now they have a platform. The same people that don't want to wear masks, things that like freaking like they're hiding babies, and I forget his name, but like you know, like Tom Hanks. Everyone thinks that he's like transporting child people. I don't know, but like there's so many conspiracies, and now people like Alex Jones are just able to like push their agendas. And it's fun to watch from a humorous point of view, and especially with the election. Like there's a part of me that's like, is this just fun? I mean, I would pay for a Kanye, Joe Biden, Donald Trump debate. I would pay to watch that. That'd be the most fun thing ever. But but after it, I would feel like an sickness in my stomach of like, this is what the presidential race has become, and I'm sick of it. And that's why I'm running for president in 2040. Vote for Paul. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it's just It's terrible. I mean, like, I would like obviously we're not trying to get too political, but me and
Yeah.
Roberto have talked about how you have people running the country currently who are running the country based on ideologies that are over a century years old, and they have not adapted to the digital age that we're in. You can't run the country how you used to because technology is taking over everything. So if you're not adapted about the way technology works on a basic fundamental level, you really aren't equipped to run in an entire country that's practically based off of technology, where the rest of the world is based off of technology. It's craziness.
And you gotta love the two candidates that we as a country have picked are two old white guys. So just to prove about how much we love technology and the future, and you know, I mean, probably one of them are gonna die in the next term. Whoever wins are gonna probably die in
I
office.
mean that's kind of dark, but I
I'm
mean,
just saying, age
statistically
wise,
speaking, you might be right, and it's just that's where we
Joe
are.
Biden he even said that he's looking for a VP to replace him because he doesn't think that he's gonna last the entire first term.
Wow.
He said he was in like an email memo, because I always get in these stupid like server things, and I'm like, please don't add me, Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I do not need to get your text messages. Please stop. They keep harassing me, so I should sue them.
Yeah, we are in a very interesting place at the country right now, and I don't know if we're gonna get on the other side even after this whole pandemic is over with because I'm not sure we're even equipped to deal with this thing properly. But we'll that's another discussion for another day, man. We won't even get into
Yeah.
all that.
Well, really quickly, I do want to ask you because I would appreciate your input on it.
Mhm.
What do you think's gonna happen? Like, if like I understand the right of like wanting to like open the economy and stuff like that. What happens if we're already super in debt? Like, what happens if like everything collapses? Like, does America even exist at that point? Like, what happens, dude? Are we close to apocalyptic measures because we owe so much to China, and now Trump was to take away TikTok or whatever?
I
Like,
don't know,
I'm
man.
scared. I'm
I
scared.
yeah, I think you have every right to be scared because we are. I mean, we're damn near on the cusp of another civil war as it is,
You're right.
and I mean, and the way things are going, people not taking the pandemic seriously. I mean, we're literally about to go back on lockdown, Paul. We're going back on lockdown because people won't wear masks. Like they're mad now. They're gonna really be mad when we go back on lockdown because all these companies, all these counties and cities and states that are reopening are closing up again because they understand that nothing has changed since March. So we're going back on lockdown. Like,
And the crazy thing is like I'm seeing people on Facebook like say that that's so horrible. What blows my mind? Florida should be the case study of what not to do.
you would
I
think so.
I like, okay, so like on my Facebook page, I basically fact check all of my parents' friends at this point, like with like statistics. So like what they will do if they have the right to like post a meme, quote unquote, of like really blurred out text about how only like 0.000 whatever percent do this. So like we shouldn't wear masks and masks don't actually do anything. I have the right to respond with facts. And that's what I do. That's what I do.
You absolutely have the right, but you know everybody can't handle facts. I mean, they get they get hit in the face with facts, and they reply with emotion and anger and rage because they can't handle the fact.
As Ben Shapiro says, facts over feelings.
All the time, all the time. The facts don't care about your feelings. The facts don't care about your emotion. The facts just exist as they are. They're just a fact. But especially here in 2020 with the pandemic, a lot of people can't handle the actual facts, and that's where our problem lies.
Yeah, we're screwed.
It would certainly appear that way. But I'm curious to get your thoughts. Besides Neuralink, and I know you're pretty excited about Neuralink, what do you think is the next big frontier in technology? Because obviously we've been dealing with these slab smartphones for a decade. I think we're pretty much reached the peak as far as hardware and what we can do hardware wise with these. I think the next advancements in technology will be coming on the software end. But what do you think?
I mean, that's a deep question. Sorry, one sec. I honestly would say I think the future is either in augmented reality or wearable technology that basically allows you to control your devices with your mind in some type of way. I think augmented reality will be super interesting, especially for lower income like communities, because in virtual reality, you could create like if you have a super tiny apartment, you could create a bigger apartment to come home to with your virtual reality glasses, and you could watch TV with your virtual reality computer, which can work because your virtual reality is connected to your computer and it's just a simulated computer. Like I saw a guy on YouTube, he recreated his entire room and like was like sitting down on a sofa in virtual reality, but it was a real sofa. So there's just so much potential once the technology improves, and I think it would be super interesting if there becomes like choose your own adventure movies in virtual reality. Like what if you're like a first person movie? Like that would be like kind of like a game, but like first person movies I think could be interesting.
That's
Um
interesting.
I think movie theaters are going to die to augmented movie theaters. That's gonna happen. It's already happening because all the movies are pulling out of AMC and all the big heavy hitters, and they're gonna be screwed because you can't go to the movies anymore, and they're losing money. So I think there was even a chain that went bankrupt recently because Trolls started this huge trend of releasing stuff digitally, and it's performing really well. So, I mean, I think the future is looking bad for the movie theater industry.
I would agree with you. I think definitely with the rise of streaming and streaming services, there is less and less need to go to the movie theaters, especially when you consider how much it costs for a night out at the movies. If you have a family of 4 or something like that, you're talking about over $100 between tickets and food and popcorn and all that stuff. Why spend all that money when you could rent a movie for like maybe what, $20, $30 or whatever, and you can eat your own food, sit on your own couch, watch on your own TV, have your own sounds, and just
Pause to go to the bathroom.
yeah, right, exactly. You can pause the movie, right? So yeah. Yeah, I think like I feel like you. I don't know if movie theaters will die immediately, especially after the pandemic, because everybody's gonna want to get back out and go to the movie because
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah.
getting they're tired of being shacked up in their own houses. But I think over the next 10 years or so, movie theaters are gonna be on the decline.
It's gonna be a slow burn, which what we all
Yeah.
thought was gonna happen with Snapchat. And now Snapchat's still here, unfortunately. I
Yeah,
hate the age of
I remember
Snapchat. Hate it.
I remember John Prosser joking about taking Snapchat out in the back and putting it down, and it's still here.
I hate that app, dude. It controls your life. I let it control my life because, like, frankly,
Oh,
you get a notification, then you're like, how long do you wait to do it? And then you like open it, but then you have to create a response right there and then, and it's like, it's a mess.
yeah.
I hate it.
Oh,
I do not condone it.
keep it techie. You're right. That movie, Hardcore Henley, that was literally a first person movie. That was kind of I never seen it, but I saw a preview. That was a little weird, but yeah, that's the
Wait,
one.
that's a real thing?
Yeah, it's an actual first person movie where you have the perspective of that guy Henry, and you see it through his vision. Yep,
That is so cool. I'm gonna
it is,
watch that.
it
That's
is a
gonna be the
literal first
craziest
person
thing
movie.
ever.
It's kind of nutty, definitely.
That's insane.
All right, before I get you out of here, Paul, we got to talk about these next generation consoles because I think you're a gamer, or I think you are into gaming. So, what do you think about the PS5 and the Xbox Series X?
Well, I've never actually had a console in my life before because it was in a family rule of no video games. Video games were evil and they will suck all of your time up. So now that I have like a Mac, I'm like playing around with some of the games and like I started playing Fallen Order. So I'm kind of like a mid gamer. Like I'm not really a gamer, but like I appreciate it. And I really freaking want to play Spider-Man and also the Miles Morales game. So like that's the big thing. So I'm sorry, but Xbox is dumb because you can just play the games on PC. So why would you have a PC and an Xbox? That makes no logical sense to me when you can just get it on PC. But the PS4 has a ton more exclusives, and I think that's the way to go. If you're gonna get one, get a freaking PS5, my guy.
Yeah, historically, the PlayStation side of the ledger has had more first party exclusives. They've had better exclusives than Microsoft. And like you said, if you have a PC and you're into PC gaming, then you don't really need to have an Xbox. Obviously, I'm not a PC gamer, so I had an Xbox One X back in the day and things like that. But yeah, if you are a PC gamer, you really have no reason to get an Xbox because those games are probably coming to PC too. But
Yeah.
obviously, with the PS5, those games aren't coming to PC. At least most of them probably aren't. So between that and the exclusive titles on the PS side of the ledger, I'm like you, man. I want to play that new Spider-Man Miles Morales. I want to play that. I need that. I am waiting, Paul. I am waiting for Sony to push the button so Viper can put a pre-order down, man. I'm ready, baby. I'm ready.
When is that coming? When is that coming?
We don't know. Now, Sony has an event. They're doing some type of games event on August 6th. I think Microsoft is doing one tomorrow for Xbox, but I don't know if Xbox is going to go on pre-order tomorrow. But I think there were some rumors that Sony was going to start pre-orders last week, but it didn't happen. So we think that it's a possibility that after this event on the 6th of August, that the PlayStation 5 pre-orders might go live during that event or after that event. But
Gotcha.
who knows?
Yeah, It's a fun landscape. I obviously won't get one when it first comes out because I'm putting everything into this PC.
Right.
But I definitely want to get it at some point because Miles Morales, dude, he's my
Oh yeah.
favorite Spider-Man. He's the best Spider-Man in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
So he's
Yeah, I
amazing.
gotta play that. I think me, you, Roberto, everybody in the stream. I think we all want to play that Spider-Man Miles Morales. We gotta play that.
Miles is a king. My favorite
That
movie of all time has to be Spider-Verse.
now I didn't really care for the movie too much, but I know a lot of people did. No,
Oh my
I
gosh,
wasn't
dude,
into it.
it's so good. I've seen it like 5 times. I even bought it was the first Blu-ray I ever bought because I loved it so much.
Wow. But I know when that game is made available for sale, it will probably be one of the highest selling console games ever. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah.
It's serious. But Paulie G, Paul Timothy, awesome conversation, man. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for inviting me, Viper. It's been a long time no see.
2
I'm
years.
glad
It's been 2 years, man. Literally.
Seriously.
Like I said, I want to have you on the podcast tonight because I remember when I was first starting my creative journey 2 years ago. You were on the rise and you allowed me some time on your podcast and we had a conversation. So I'm like, you know what? Time for me to bring it back. Time for me to get him on the podcast. So I'm glad we were able to sit down and do this.
Heck yeah. Thank you again. I do appreciate it.
No doubt. Before we get out of here, let the people know where they can find you.
Well, they can find me all over the internet at Paul Timothy 2002 on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, very much TikTok. Please follow me on TikTok. I need TikTok clout. So TikTok is amazing. So go follow me at Paul Timothy 2002. On YouTube, I'm just Paul Timothy, youtube.com/Paul Timothy. Other than that, I'm just a child who is trying to make videos in his bedroom. So yeah, that's where you can find me. Don't find my address. I've had people threaten that.
Oh Lord, these people are crazy. But yeah, my man Paul is a filmmaking genius. He is the prodigy. This dude edits like nobody's business. Like one of the few people I know that actually spend 10 hours editing a single video. Like just bananas to me. But you do it and you do it good.
It's weird though, because like I have a really short attention span, but like I will edit. Like that's the only thing I can like vibe out to. So
hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Thank you to the 26 you all that watched the podcast live today. Thank you for watching another episode of VypDrive. I appreciate you guys rocking out with me and Paulie G, Paul Timothy. El Jefe just pasted his channel in the chat or his TikTok in the chat. So you guys want to follow him on TikTok.
Thank you.
Do that. If you want to check out his YouTube channel, it's in the description. So definitely go do that. If you super chatted, brought me a coffee, or became a channel member, thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate you guys supporting me each and every time we do a podcast here. Shout out to those of y'all that are listening on audio only. Thank you for listening to another episode of VypDrive. I appreciate you guys rocking out each and every week on the podcast. If you want to follow Paul, all of his info will be in the show notes. Definitely go check out his TikTok. The dude edits like an absolute boss. His videos are the real deal. Also, if you want to support the podcast or donate, check the information in the show notes. Nothing is required. None of this is actually required, but anything that you're willing to contribute, greatly appreciate it. Also, if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts, please consider leaving a rating or review, trying to get more people to discover the show, trying to get the show back into the top 200 of tech podcasts over there on Apple Podcasts. So please leave the rating or review. Definitely appreciate it. For those of y'all who like to watch these podcasts live, you are in for a treat tomorrow because we got 2 episodes. Tomorrow is a double hitter. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will have the legendary Android creator, Max Lee. Zito Max is what he goes by on Twitter. But yeah, Max Lee will be on the show tomorrow night. And then in the nightcap, my dude, the owner of Popcorn World, the former leader of the Samsung Knights turned Apple user, LeBaron Burton, is coming on the podcast at 10 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern time. So we got a show at 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, and we got a show at 10 o'clock tomorrow Eastern. So definitely come back if you want to rock out live on VypDrive. But until the next time, people, this your boy Viper, the man about tech. You know where to find me. So come back for more.